Hi everyone, I'm Nigel Waterworth from Nigel Waterworth International Precision Sharpening, which you know is a heck of a mouthful, but that's my name, so I'm stuck with it really. I've been asked to talk to you about blades, clippers, daily maintenance care of your equipment. I've been sharpening now for a long time. Before that, I've always had an obsession with the samurai and blades and sharp things, which has led to pretty much like an OCD outlook on things are either done right or done wrong, which serves me well when it comes to maintenance and sharpening blades. The first thing we're going to cover today is clippers. Standard pair of clippers, pair of Osters, which are very, very similar to the Heiniger clippers. You will work with clip-on blades with these. They normally, in a commercial salon, take a fair amount of hammer. Every day, you need to be checking your clipper over. The first thing to check with them is the blade drive. And I see on groups all the time people saying, blade drive this, blade drive that. I know an awful lot of people don't even know where the blade drive is. So as a clue, it's the black wiggly bit on the top there. That sits into the back of the blade, and it causes the cutter, which is the small blade on your clipper blade, to move backwards and forwards. That's what cuts the hair. Now over a period of time, that black wiggly bit gets worn. If you compare, this one's not too bad, but if you compare that with a brand new one, which is there, it should have square edges on it. You'll find over a period of time that they start to round off. As they start to round off, that will cause a little bit of movement between where it locates in the clipper blade, which means that the cutter isn't going to be working as efficiently as it should do. Over a period of time, when they get really worn, you'll find the cutter blade doesn't even move at all. We see all the time people saying, my blades are blunt, my blades are dragging, my blades are getting hot, my blades are noisy. 9 times out of 10, it comes down to that little piece of plastic. There's one for the Andis clippers, works exactly the same way. Still a little black plastic thing, sits into the back of the blade and it wiggles backwards and forwards. So every day you need to be checking that your blade drive is intact. Sometimes you'll drop it, sometimes you'll bang it on the H-bar and you'll take chips out of it. When your blades aren't working correctly in the first place, check your blade drive. If it does need replacing, on the Andis ones it's relatively simple to do yourself. It's 2 screws and you'll find the screws located in the back of it. Take 2 screws out, push your new one in, put the 2 screws back, away you go. On the Osters and Heinigers, it is more of a technical issue because you've got to actually take the clipper into 2 halves. In all honesty, you're probably better off getting somebody in who knows what they're doing, because there's all sorts of things that can go wrong when you start fiddling about inside there. So that's your blade drive done. You'll always find the hair gets compacted around the hinge. You need to take a toothbrush, any type of brush, and just brush all the hair out. Get a blaster if necessary, there's always one of those around. Blow that out as well. What you tend to find is that the hair will compact down in the bottom of the hinge. When it does that, as you're clipping your blade on and off, it breaks the spring inside there, so all of a sudden your blade release doesn't work. So you're finding that your blade's locking on or flipping off. And it's purely usually down to hair compacted in the hinge. So it's important that you do take that hair out of there. So brush it all out every single day. Check it, everything's fine with that. If it's got a power lead on it, again, just run the power lead back to the plug, just check that nobody's tripped on it, stepped on it, caught something on it. So you don't want to be going electrocuting yourself. That's your daily maintenance. In terms of servicing, like your routine maintenance, it really does depend a bit how long's a piece of string. Heinigers, Osters, you're normally looking on a commercial salon at servicing every 6 to 12 months. Very, very busy salon, 6 months. If you're only doing 2, 3, 4 dogs a day, you might get 12 months out of it. Your Andis clippers, which again, one of the most popular clippers on the market. Your blade drive, so Andis is saying these days in a commercial salon, needs to be changed every 3 to 4 weeks. So if you're not changing them that regularly now, that's probably where some of your problems are coming from. In terms of servicing on an Andis, I would say every 6 to 12 months again. That's your routine side. Don't attempt to service them yourself, not unless you're a competent person in the first place. There's all sorts of things that can go wrong if you start opening them up and replacing the wrong parts. If you don't know how to change motor brushes, if you don't know how to take gears apart and reassemble them, if you haven't got the correct grease, there's all sorts of things there that are a nightmare and will probably cause you more problems than, well, we charge £30 to service a pair of clippers. It's probably worth £30 in your own peace of mind to know it's been done properly. Troubleshooting, which is the last thing on the clippers. Any problems that you get with the clippers, first thing you get, as I said before, check your blade drive. As I say, 99% of the time, if you've got a problem with the blades, it's not the blades, it's your clipper, and it's normally your blade drive. If you see that that part there is not square, is looking worn and the edges are starting to round on it, it will need changing. So either give us a call, if you can do it yourself and feel competent to do it yourself, change it. That will usually resolve most of your problems. Other than that, keep them clean, keep them away from water. If you've got your spray blade washes, things like the clipper sides and things like that, it's worth spraying them over every few days. Other than that, they'll pretty much look after themselves.